As I mentioned in our last chat, brands are probably still today the most misunderstood and underleveraged asset on your company's balance sheet. Brands in many ways are like children. They fall short of their potential if the people that are responsible for managing that potential and that growth don't pay attention and don't put the attention and the time required to growing that potential and giving them the coaching and the training and most importantly, the direction to grow. Brands are an interesting concept. Many people will give you different definitions of them. But if they truly are the responsibility of the C-suite, we've tried to come up with the simplest definition of what a brand really is. A brand is the value of a promise that is consistently kept. Let's start with value, the most important thing for that C-suite. I was always taught in my career, as I was developing as a senior manager, that if I couldn't measure it, I couldn't manage it. The value of a brand truly is rooted in the value of its asset, its equity. That value can be measured on the balance sheet, often trapped within the goodwill line of your balance sheet, but nonetheless, a brand's value can be red circled and measured. To do that, we need to understand what drives that value. And you may be surprised, sector by sector, how different the drivers of that brand's value are. When you do see what the drivers are, though, you'll understand that they really do fall into the responsibility of the senior-most executives in the company. It's also driving P&L, day in, day out operations, growth, profitable growth, as well as managing the margins on the business, so the cost side of my business. What do I need to do to invest in my brand in order to continue to drive its growth in the market day in, day out? So the balance sheet with a longer term perspective, my P&L with a shorter immediate term perspective, still gives me the opportunity to measure its value. Your brand's promise. Well, a brand's promise is often built off of information that's available. What we make, what we produce, what we sell. But often when we look at those brands and their positioning of their promise in the market, there's a lot of consistency. All brands have a tendency to differentiate on product features, things that can easily be matched and often underpriced. As soon as I lose my competitive advantage on that promise, I lose my ability to grow profitably. Therefore, the promise really does need to be driven by what we at Level 5 call a provocative insight. What is it I know about my consumer, about my marketplace, that my competitor doesn't? How can I use that to my advantage as I position the brand in the marketplace, build its story, communicate it, deliver it commercially in the marketplace? All of these are very important strategic elements that, again, need to be managed and ultimately decided upon by the senior-most management in the company. Consistently kept. This is where we find the lion's share of our clients drop a ball. Coming up with a promise, yes, it's difficult, but it can be done. Where the ball gets dropped is the direction that that promise in the market points a company often is not consistently delivered down through change within the organization. What process changes? What compensation changes for my personnel? What competencies? What technical skills? What IP might I have to develop in order to protect? How do I ensure that all of those systems and those departments work in an integrated fashion 24/7 to deliver on the promise that our brand is spending money to commercialize and to market in the marketplace? So, when you look at a brand as the value of a promise that needs to be consistently kept, the key decisions in each of those three buckets always lies with the CEO.